Mungla?
The lady there was very aggressive. She was trying to stop the driver from taking us.
She spent an enormous amount of money on us. We don't know how to repay her.
This is interesting experience.
We're Marlin and Alex, and in 2017 we came up with the crazy idea to hitchhike all the way from Thailand to Spain. This is our story.
Okay, we are in China now.
They took me aside and questioned my old Thai visas. I think from when I was working in Thailand, I have no idea what they have got to do with this, because I've got 2 new Thai visas, tourist visas after that. But I have no idea what they wanted, but we're here now.
Yeah, we're in China and we are bloody hungry, so let's go and eat.
Yeah, let's find something. Let's see if we understand the menus. I don't think we will. Quite a big portion of it.
Yeah. Does it look good?
Yeah.
Well then, give it a try.
Oh yeah. It's very nice. We had made it to China, and it wasn't until now this trip felt real. We were going to hitchhike all the way to Europe. We had 6,000 kilometers to cover before making it to our next country, and it started with some massive language barriers. Mungla?
We were lucky to get picked up by a lovely couple who took us all the way to Mongla. This was where we wanted to spend our first night in China, but arriving there wasn't as straightforward as we'd hoped.
So we're in Mongla trying to find a hotel, and we're not finding it, and now this nice guy is taking us to one. That is, we have at least seen on Hitchwiki that it should be fairly cheap.
We're in Mengla, checking out nighttime exercise. Aerobics about to start over there. We're the only bloody foreigners in the town.
This was exactly what we expected from China. People doing aerobics and playing badminton in the park. We people watched for a while, and then it was time to get some grub. Hello.
Hello. We need to learn some numbers. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Apparently this is 8. It's a challenge to order dinner. See what we get.
Ordering food was a bit tricky as everything was in Chinese and we had no way to translate it. But we did manage to order some cheap and cheerful noodles to fill our bellies, and then we called it a night.
After a shaky start to the morning, we're about to hit the road in Mengla. Well, it's actually pronounced Mongla, apparently, but anyway. We're going to go to Puer and hopefully further, which is, how far is it?
Don't remember.
222 kilometers. There you go.
And nobody wants to write a hitchhiking letter for us.
Yeah, so we had to get it on my phone. I can I'll show you here. Look. There we go. So that's what we got. Nice bit of paintwork to put our names in. Anyway, let's go.
As Mangla isn't particularly big, we managed to get picked up inside the city after only walking for about 20 minutes.
I think we're getting a ride out to the road. That goes to Puer. This guy stopped. Find out in a minute. As long as it doesn't take us back.
second car. First car took us to a better stop, which turned out not to be a very good spot because it was kind of a bus stop on the right road, but the lady there was very aggressive. When we hitched the car down, she was trying to stop the driver from taking us. I don't know how she thought she was going to force us on the bus. So a little bit of a rocky start of the day, and we started late. But when the first car is going to take us about 33 kilometers, there's a language barrier. It's going to be very tricky in terms of language. We have a translation app, but it's just stationary, so we need one that can translate phrases as well.
Language barriers weren't our only problem this morning. Our plan was to hitchhike from the toll booths along the motorway, but there were roadworks for miles and miles, and we got dropped off on a small road in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, we're on a road. The main road seems to be under repair, so all the cars seem to be joining this little road. And when I say all the cars, there aren't that many.
We are very confused. We've had a very, very rocky start today.
It can only get better.
We haven't gotten anywhere.
We're on a road, this nice Chinese guy, Mr. Jan. Okay. The main road is closed, so everything is going on a smaller road, and there's a lot of traffic. So let's see how it goes and how long it takes.
I actually cried a bit waiting to get picked up. The whole situation was overwhelming. No car stopped, and I feared this was it. We wouldn't make it to Europe, not even to Puer. Mr. Jan, who had seen us standing next to the road looking lost, had felt sorry for us and decided to turn around and give us a lift. And invite us for some really yummy noodles. Going all the way around the mountain delayed us many hours, and when we finally got dropped off by the toll booth, we still had quite a way to go.
Right, so, hold on. Okay, you just look confused. Anyway, we are at the toll gate or toll booth on the road that should join to go to Puer. Had a morning of windy mountain roads as the main road's closed. Anyway, there aren't many cars coming this way, so we'll see how long it takes to get a ride and where we're going to sleep tonight.
It didn't take long. A security guard by the toll booth decided to stop cars for us, and thanks to him, we were almost immediately in a car going to Puer.
I'm exhausted. I'm not really happy with our hitchhiking experience in China so far. We've had a little bit of a weird day. Firstly, from Mongla to Mongjuan, which wasn't far at all. There was road work and the whole highway was not in use. So the car picked us up eventually. It took us all the way around the mountain. It took hours.
But wait, before that, before that, there was a guy that gave us a lift to a better spot, and he comes from the mountains where they filmed Avatar.
Yeah, he wanted us to go to his home. Anyway, I'm exhausted, really tired, and we're in Puer. And I think this is a shit place, but
We haven't even seen it yet. It's got a lake around it apparently.
well, we'll see. We'll see if we can find somewhere to stay. So we're in Puer. It's not the most exciting city. We're kind of just stopping over so we can hitchhike further into Yunnan or further west into Yunnan. We're in a hotel room. They wanted 100 first, which is fairly cheap because that's like 13 euros. We're ending up paying less than that. So we're paying about maybe 10 euros.
Our only mission in Puer was to find somewhere to have dinner. This isn't normally a problem when we travel in Asia, but here it turned out to be quite a challenge.
We walked around for about an hour trying to find some food. Apparently there's not a massive amount in these cities. So here we are in a very bland place. The food's cheap, so we'll see how we get on. Hey Marlene.
Not my best day today, I have to admit.
Why?
Because I haven't been feeling very well, and I've been taking travel sickness pills for many days, and I think they're destroying me. You shouldn't be taking them every day, but we've gone on a very windy road. Today I didn't take one. However, it felt like I had taken one because I felt completely knocked out. There are many reasons why today wasn't very good.
Never mind, let's not hear about them.
I'm hungry. Give me food.
Rice. Yes.
We're leaving Pur. I'm not sure. We're gonna head towards Dali. I think it will take us about 2 days to get there, no?
We're going on a smaller road. See how long it takes.
Yeah.
And if we get it right.
A car has stopped and Alex has run over there by the toll booth to get out of the city. Let's see if we can get in that car, at least for a little while. Can't see what's going on, he's a bit away. Not sure, hold on a minute.
Unfortunately, we didn't get a ride in that car. At this particular toll booth, cars can travel both south and north, so our chances to get a ride in the right direction were about 50%.
We're the first ride of today, going only about 50 kilometers.
It took us an hour before we got picked up by Hua Kai Hong. We told her we were planning to go on some smaller roads towards Dali, but she suggested we'd go with her all the way to Kunming instead, as it would be easier to get to Dali from there.
Hua Kai Hong was really keen to give us a private tour around Kunming, and we couldn't say no to such an amazing invite. When her hotel and the other budget hotels in the area wouldn't cater us, she checked us in to a posh hotel, which she paid for, and this is where this story gets really interesting. We ended up having one of our best but also worst experiences in China. So let's start with the good one.
The first thing Hua Kai Hong wanted to do for us was to invite us for a very special dinner.
We're here in Kunming with our friend who took us here, and we're having hotpot.
Now Hua Kai Hong's daughter joined us as well, who is partly the reason behind our worst experience in China. But let's not talk about that now. Let's dig into the food.
This is, what was it? Some kind of neck meat. Don't know what it is. Don't know what animal. Tastes good. Strange texture. What do you got?
After that quite interesting dinner, we all got in a taxi and headed into town to go for a walk, digest the food and just enjoy our time together.
Okay, we got over the bridge noodles. Special Kunming dish.
Hua Kai Hong picked us up for breakfast and then took us to Yunnan Ethnic Village, a place we probably wouldn't have visited for ethical reasons if we'd come to Kunming on our own.
"26 out of China's 52 ethnic groups live in Yunnan, making it a very diverse and interesting area to travel through. Like everywhere around the world, ethnic minority groups aren't always treated the best, and often they become tourist attractions."
So we are at some kind of like set up village for all the 26 minorities in Yunnan province. It's very beautifully set up, but Alex and I are not sure if it's just a way of making money and taking advantage of all these minorities, or if it's a good way to assume the culture. I'm not sure. There was an elephant show here. We didn't really like it very much. It's quite horrible, but this nice lady, she's paid for us. It was very expensive. She spent an enormous amount of money on us. We don't know how to repay her.
Hua Kai Hong wanted us to dress up in some ethnic clothes, and she absolutely wouldn't take no for an answer. And of course, she wouldn't let us pay for it. Just like she wouldn't let us pay for a pretty hefty entrance fee to the park. Beautiful. What about me?
Very handsome.
Need a samurai sword. This is interesting experience.
Although we ethically didn't feel great about visiting a park that exploits ethnic minorities, we still had a very good time together with Hua Kai Hong and her little girl.
Sticky rice steamed in bamboo. They stuff it inside and close it and steam. I don't know how long they steam it for. But you have this in ethnic minorities in China, Thailand, Myanmar. They all seem to do it. And it's a really good source of food if you're out many days in the jungle. This will keep you going. Very filling. And followed by a bit of popcorn. Oh yeah. This is definitely authentic ethnic food.
All around the park, you could watch different ethnic groups perform their traditional dances, and this show in particular was extra enjoyable and very interactive. And obviously, as we were the only non-Chinese visitors, we got to make fools out of ourselves on stage.
We ended up spending the whole day at the park, which ended in a big interactive performance with all the different ethnic groups. I'm not gonna lie, we really enjoyed watching this, and the staff actually seemed to enjoy it. Although not seeing much of Kunming itself, we were incredibly grateful for Hua Kai Hong's amazing hospitality and generosity. Now let's talk about our worst experience in China. So we talked earlier about hotels not accepting foreigners in China. This is true in non-touristy areas. They don't have the facilities to run foreign passports through their check-in systems, and that's why Hua Kai Hong checked us into a fancy hotel that first night and wouldn't let us pay.
So for the second night, we had booked and paid for a hostel in a more touristy part of the city, and where she was supposed to drop us off later that evening.
This time, Hua Kai Hong had her daughter with her in the car, and she didn't have a kid seat. She convinced us to come back to her hotel as she didn't want her little girl sitting alone in the back seat. To be honest, guys, we didn't have much of a say in it.
So because of this, we missed the check-in at our hostel and tried to get a room in the fancy hotel we had stayed the previous night, but they no longer had the cheaper rooms available and no other hotel in the neighborhood would take us.
After many hours of tears and fear of having to sleep rough, it was decided we would sleep in Hua Kai Hong's car. We borrowed some blankets from the hotel and spent a very sad and uncomfortable night in the car.
The next morning, Hua Kai Hong wanted to make up for what had happened the night before, so she took us to a hostel where we should have stayed, explained what had happened, and even managed to get us a refund.
After all, we are still truly grateful for Hua Kai Hong's hospitality and generosity. Sometimes good things turn bad and vice versa, and there's not always much we can do about it. And this was definitely the case this time.
Where are we going, Marlon?
I'm not sure. Ask the driver.
I won't get much of a response, I don't think.
We spent the rest of the morning in Green Lake Park enjoying our last hours together, and this is where this episode ends.
Join us next time as we wild camp in China for the first time and continue our crazy hitchhiking adventure towards Europe. We are having a crappy hitchhiking day.
This is our driver. Hello. Hello.
This is where we are sleeping tonight. We go to places in China where no other foreigners go. Guys, if you have made it to the end of this video, don't forget to leave us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and drop us a comment below. And we will see you in the next one. And a special thanks to all of our patrons for keeping us motivated and helping us stay on the road. If you too want to become a patron, head over to our page. You will find the link at the end of this video and down in the description below.